But let me give you a story of a young man. A young man went fishing. He went to the sea, he killed the fish, he boiled the fish, and he is now eating the fish. And now a wise man came in and asking this boy, why are you eating this fish? And the boy said, because I love the fish. And the wise man said, you love the fish, and you went ahead and killed the fish, boiled the fish, and now you are eating the fish? Is it that you love the fish or you love yourself? Which one? A lot of loves around us are fish love. We love things because we love what those things give to us, not what we give to those things. If you really love the fish, what do? You preserve it, you feed it, you keep it, right? But if we love politics, do we take from politics? Do we think of what we benefit from politics, or what can we give to the politics? As much as you want to participate in democracy, in governance, don't think of the flavor, the taste of what the democracy will give you or the politics will give you in person. But what will you contribute to the sustenance of this democracy or the politics or the governance? And that's why I see young people are the most suitable set of people to actively change the way we do politics and how we participate in the election. And that's why I salute the Ministry of Youth for this wonderful initiative, especially at a time when we are approaching a general election in Nigeria. Because if you look at Nigerian demography, more than 65% of Nigerian population are young people. And therefore, you cannot exclude the majority being a frontline participants of the election and the governance. Even if you look at the registered voters, more than 70% of registered voters are young people. And therefore, there cannot be leadership, there cannot be democracy, there cannot be election without the youth. We have so many roles to play. A lot of us young people are the officials for the INEC, are the security personnel, are the contestants, are the people in different positions. We play a vital role, and we have to know how we play these roles effectively. And that's why I say young people, for them, one of the most important aspects of the democracy entirely is the leadership, political leadership, because that's where we elect people and make decisions for us. And then young people, a lot of us, we advocate and agitate for youth inclusion in governance, in leadership. But it's not going to be given until when we are prepared for it. Leadership is like a skill. It's a skill. The same way you have to learn how to drive a car, you have to learn how to be a leader. Leaders are not always born. Leaders are mostly made. Even if you are born with certain traits to be a good leader, you still have to complement it by building the leadership skills you require. Most of the times you see young people agitating to be leaders, but when you give them the position, they will not do anything different. So for us to participate in politics and even leadership, we have to prepare ourselves for that. Because whether we like it, we are going to be the leaders of tomorrow, as they say. But that tomorrow is already here, because the tomorrow of yesterday is today. So we are the leaders of today. And we have to prepare for succession. The senior generation are going out, and the younger ones are being ushered in. So we don't want to lose the knowledge, the skills of the senior generations. So we have to have partnership and collaboration so that these people will transfer their knowledge and their skills down to the younger ones so that we can carry it on. We don't want a situation whereby we have excellent leader, a great set of leaders, and they've died and everything is gone with them. But how will you transfer experience, knowledge, and skill from the senior generation to the younger generation? And this can only happen when there is partnership, collaboration. So we don't want the senior generation to say, hey, young people, wait for your time. No. Before the time comes, bring us closer. Give us the training so that we can learn from you. We can see some of the things, how you do things, and how we can change the way we do things. That's what I mean by succession planning. And that's why I believe young people are the most suitable set of generations to be actively participating in politics. Even if you are here and you don't have interest to participate in politics or governance, and I want to encourage you to participate so that you can also learn from the senior generation. And a lot of young people misunderstood the concept of leadership or participation in election itself or in politics. Leadership is something you attract. You don't go for it all the time. No, you have to prepare, and then the leadership will come to you. It's just like my famous theory where I said insects are attracted to light. When you put up a light, the insect will come by themselves. You don't have to invite them. So you have to become the light to attract the insect to you. The insect of power, fame, money, position, recognitions, award, all these things will come to you if you attract it. We do a lot of advocacy, agitation. We want 35% affirmative action. We want 35% of all appointments to be young people. No. You don't just ask for it. You prepare for it. And then they will look for you and they give you the position you want. So in life, you have to attract a lot of things, including money. You don't chase money. You attract it. There's somebody who was chasing chickens around. And he was chasing them and they were all running away. But then he remembered. Said, no, you don't chase chickens, right? You attract them. What he did was to put grains on his hand and pour it in front of him, and then the chickens start coming towards him. So where are the grains that you are putting on yourself to attract those chickens of life to you? And we are happy that the current administration has approved the Not Too Young to Run, a perfect opportunity for young people to participate so that it can serve as a training ground. I know there's so many leadership training grounds around, especially the Ministry of Youth, which I'm also a beneficiary of the Ministry of Youth project called the Nigerian Youth Parliament. I started from there. I was the Nigerian Youth Parliament member in 2008, where I became the first chief whip of the parliament. And from there, we got a lot of exposure to leadership, challenges, and experiences. And we are now using those knowledge to be better people now. As a university lecturer, mentoring young people, speaking to a lot of people like you. You know, these are some of the things you have to prepare for it. Then it will come to you. Now, on top of that, we have another opportunity to be fully involved in politics. Because at the age of 35, you can be president of Nigeria. Yeah, a lot of you here are almost qualified already to be president of Nigeria. But, you know, having the law is one thing, but having the young people fully in this position, in those positions, is another thing. Because you allow young people to participate in politics, to contest by age, but by money, they're not qualified. So, because when you look at young people and say you have to contest for a position, let's say governor or senator or rep, you know, the amount of money you spend is enormous. You have to buy the form, you have to buy the expression form, you have to do visibility, posters. And nowadays in Nigeria, you have to pay delegates to get the ticket. See, a lot of this is what's going on in the country. We have the space for young people, but they cannot go in because there are so many barriers and limitations. But even if there are barriers to participate or to contest in the election, the good news is that even if you are not a politician, even if you are not participating in politics, you can still influence governance. You can advise leaders. You can come up with policies. No one says the people on power, they are the only ones with the exclusive knowledge of what is good for Nigeria. They are there to facilitate. But leadership is everyone's role because everyone is a leader. Once you can change yourself, you can influence other people, you can help other people develop and grow, you can change society, you are a leader, even if you don't have the position. So for me, young people, don't be deceived by the notion that once you are not a politician, that you have no business with governance. A lot of people will become agitated during the election, they become very active, but soon after the election, they will go back and sleep. They will not observe what's going on in the country, they will not do budget tracking, they will not ask their leaders. You know, you all have the right to participate in governance. So it's not only in politics, but also in governance. So even if you are not elected or you are not appointed, you can still influence governance. So what we are saying in agitation for youth inclusion is not a competition between the younger generation and the senior generation. We are all in the same team. We have one team called Nigeria. Whether you are young or old, we want to work as a team. And you do your run, you pass the baton to the next person. Because when you hold on to the button and you run tired, and you cannot run faster, you are ruining the team. So when you feel tired, pass it on to the next team member, and then he carries it on. When he's tired, pass it to the next one. Young people, we have creativity, we have innovation, we are the most exposed to technology more than any generation before. We have solutions to ideas, solutions to problems. So there are no more deserving generation than us at this moment. Because when we present problem to us in this hall, we'll be amazed by the kind of solution, out of the box solution that we guys will be coming up with. And these things could be missing if we are not participating in politics or in governance. So for me, we should not think as if we are opposing the senior generation. We are partners. And for anything we want, we have to change. We have to change ourselves first. If we want to change from not being participants in politics to now being active participants in politics, we have to change ourselves. Because one of the biggest challenges in life is that you can have more than you have by changing who you are today. You can have more than you have by becoming more than you are. The only way what you have can change is when you change who you are. So this brings us down to the preparation. And there is internal preparation and there is an external preparation. Young people, the most challenging thing for us is how do we prepare personally? How everyone will take it as their personal responsibility to prepare. And there are 4 elements for us to prepare, to be fully active in politics and in governance. Number 1 thing is capacity building. I talked to you about attraction, the law of attraction, and it comes down to the capacity building. A lot of people will want power and position and money, but they are not building their skills, they are not building their capacity, they are not building their knowledge. When you present young people with money and knowledge and skills, they will quickly go for money and position. They will abandon the knowledge. But what attracts more of the power, more of the money, are the knowledge and the skills. So what I always ask young people when they come to me and say, oh, doctor, I want to contest an election. And then I look at this person. I say, go and build yourself. Develop yourself mentally, intellectually. So that when we elect you, we see difference. Because the risk is that once you contest an election, or you are given responsibility, and you fail, and you cannot perform, you are already exposing your weakness. And people will not give you the chance again. So before you come out, prepare. Invest in yourself. There is nothing you cannot learn in this world. In fact, anything you want to learn in this life within 6 months, you can learn it, you can become it. Think of anything of knowledge and skill. There is nothing you cannot learn, you cannot learn how to do it within 6 months. Anything. If you can dedicate 6 months to doing one thing, you can become it. So anything you want to do, investing in your capacity, you can do it as soon as possible. One of the easiest way to do that is reading books. And a lot of people, young people these days, we are distracted by social media, consuming so much media, we don't read books. So building capacity And that does not mean you going to school, because going to school is one thing, but having the knowledge and the skill and the capacity is another. How many young people with the first class degrees, but they're empty head? In this world, you are not rewarded by your grade. You are rewarded by your intelligence, by your knowledge and your skills. How you interpret information, process information. That's why you are rewarded. I'm invited here, not just to inspire you, because the military think I have something to share with you. If they think I don't have anything to share with you, maybe they will not invite me, right? So how will people invite you to help others? Is by building your capacity. That's number one. Number two is character. Forget about youth participation in anything if we cannot build the right character. The character of selflessness. When we do things, we don't think of ourselves, only we also think of what benefits other people. If I have to participate in politics, it's not because it's a fish love. It's because I want to preserve it, because I want to contribute to the development of the nation, of the country. So for us, we have to invite the culture of honesty, sincerity, and get rid of greediness. Young people, a lot of us, we exhibit this kind of character of greediness and selfishness. There's no way we can be that kind of people if we cannot change these attitudes. So the character is very important. You have knowledge, but you don't have character. You cannot control your emotion. What's the use of that? How many times you see people with high level of skills, a lot of knowledge, but they don't have emotional intelligence. They cannot understand people's feelings, and they cannot control their own feelings. That's not leadership. Leadership is internal. The most difficult aspect of leadership is you changing yourself. The moment you want to express those angers, you control yourself, you don't express it, then you manage how you utter your words at certain moments, because you are sensitive to the feeling of other people. And that's also under character. A lot of things under character. But let's move to the next one, which is more important, I think, for me, is value. What do we value as young people? It comes down to the life ethics. Who do you see in life and say, this person is successful? And say, I want to be like this person. Is it the rich person? Is it the famous person? Or is it the most knowledgeable person, the most skillful person? What is success to you? We have to redefine success. The moment young people will think the highest level of success is you being the president, you being the governor, we've lost the value. Because the most important thing in life is not you being elected. It's you changing your own self, building the right character, building your capacity, helping people. Even if you are not the president, even if you are not the governor, as long as you can help other people, you can change yourself, you can develop yourself, you are doing leadership. So we have to change the values of our lives. And I want to give you 4 perspectives of life under values. In every situation you find yourself, there are 4 circumstances. And I want you to be in 2 of the 4 circumstances and never be in the other 2 circumstances. When you do that, you realize that you are adjusting your character, you are changing your values, and you'll be more successful, and then you attract the success. Is in any situation you find yourself, it's either you win and other people win, or you win, other people lose, or you lose, other people win, or you lose, other people lose. Let's take it gently. Let's start with the good, positive circumstances, which is win-win situation. A win-win. Win-win situation. Anywhere you find yourself, make sure that you are winning and other people are also winning. Once you are winning and other people are winning as a result of that, that's good situation. Very good, fantastic. But if you cannot be in win-win situation, you are winning and other people are winning, the next thing you need to be is lose-win. Lose-win. I am losing and other people are winning. How can I cost myself so that other people will benefit? That's a good character. That's being altruistic. That's being selfless. Will you be able to find yourself in a position of losing and become comfortable? If the answer is yes, then you are a leader. Even if it costs you, as long as other people are benefiting, are winning, good and fine. So you should be in one of these two situations, win-win or lose-win situation. The other two that I wouldn't want you to be is, number one, is win-lose. How can I win at the cost of other people? As long as I'm winning, I don't care whoever loses as a result. I can even cost other people deliberately so that I can win. I can cheat on people. I can cost people's life. I can do anything. As long as I'm going to win, I don't care. Even when it comes to traffic light junction, as long as I'm passing by, I don't care whoever I'm discomforting. When it comes to sharing money or sharing opportunities, as long as I'm getting it, I don't care whoever is losing. How can we think of other people? That's the question. That's leadership. And you are put in a leadership position so that you can do this kind of role of thinking of other people. Do something for them. So I don't want you to be in a win-lose situation. And I don't want you to be in a lose-lose. There are some people who will say, as long as I'm losing, everyone must lose. I'm not getting this position, so nobody is going to win it. I'm not going to get this money, nobody should get this money. I'm not going to get the job, nobody should get that job. That's a bad thing. You know, you are living in the world of scarcity, where you think the moment someone gets something, you are losing out. No. Live in the world of plenty, where there are plenty of things out there someone can get, I can also get. Once you think someone's success is not diminishing your success in any way, you're already at the right frequency. Because everyone is moving their own journey to success. So don't be jealous, don't envy your colleagues. Try to help people grow. Because the easiest way to grow yourself is by helping other people grow. The measure of your success is how you contribute to other people's success. If what you do is to put people down and then you can stand tall, that's success? No. That's greediness. That's selfishness. So in changing our values, we have to change the circumstances we want to put ourselves. When you look at every situation in this four perspective, now you try to ask yourself, am I on the right perspective? Am I on the lose-lose? If you're on the lose-lose, change your position. If you're on win-lose, change your position. Make sure that wherever you are either win-win or lose-win situation. It's not bad for you to cost yourself to please other people. Right? But, you know, self-care is not selfish. I'm not saying forget yourself. Yeah, of course you have to take care of yourself before you can take care of other people. But don't do that always at the cost of other people. And then the fourth element of the readiness, preparedness for young people participation is unity. Because a lot of young people say there is nothing for us without us. There is nothing for the youth without the youth. But where are the youth? Are we united? Now challenge the young people in Nigeria to produce one person to be their president, to be the president of Nigeria. Give them 24 hours. Do you think young people can produce one person? Everyone will say me, right? Right? So that's the unity that we need to build. Strengthen the unity among us. When we are united, that is when we can have space to participate in governance and in politics and election. So these are the challenges for us to be prepared before we can become active participants in politics. And one of the worst tragedy that can happen to us as young people is to think the only job, the only career you have, all you can do is to become politician. Very bad. Don't make politics to be your number one career. Make it like a hobby. Make it like a secondary career. But become something. Be something. You should be known for something first before you are known to be a politician. Because look at all our leaders. They're either former military, this person, or former university professor. You know, you cannot just be a young person and all your life what you do is contest election, following politicians. And that's why sometimes politicians don't value us, because we are always sycophants to them. We follow them. We lose our values. But go and build the credibility. In fact, when you build the credibility and the integrity and the competence, they will look for you. Because even after election, there are some positions that cannot be given to political vanguards. We have to look for technocrats. So be that technocrat. Be an expert. And that's why you see, I endure to be a university professor to death. Because my goal in life is not just to be a politician, but I want to reach the peak of my academic career and contribute, add to knowledge, share the lives of the younger ones. And that's the purpose. Once you have a vision, you'll not be distracted. And you can endure whatever cost that you're going to incur in the process of sticking to your career. It's going to come with a lot of cost, because you see a lot of attraction side by side, but you have to ignore it. Be persistent, because what makes a difference is consistency. If what you do is start something and you quit, you cannot amount to anything. But the way you can become something is through consistency. So politics, a lot of people, there's a big debate around whether politics is a career. Yes, it's a career, but it should not be a primary career. Be known for something before you go into politics. But remember, even if you eventually get elected, the position itself is not the ultimate. The position of power is just like this microphone. I'm giving you this microphone to do what? To speak. But do you have the ideas? I give you the microphone, but you have no idea. What do you do with it? So leadership position is like microphone. Do you have the ideas to implement? Do you have the policies to implement? What will you do if you are to become the governor, the senator, the president of this country today? So you see, leadership is something you don't need to wait for the position, because the position is just an opportunity, it's a platform. It is not the action itself. But the action could be done by any other person, inside the position or outside that political position. And that's why I always want the Ministry of Youth to also revisit the Nigerian youth policy. What is that common vision for Nigerian youth? We as people, as one generation, what do you want for this country? We have to review this policy continuously. If one of us is elected president, or we have a president, even if it is from the senior generation, what is our policy recommendations to these people? So that we can pursue these people, we can advocate for implementation of this youth policy. Sometimes participation politics will come through agitation. Of course, someone said power is not given. You have to demand it. We also sometimes have to agitate, but we have to also put our stake in the politics. One of the biggest challenges I discovered, especially from the time when I was the president of the Commonwealth Youth Council, where I led 1.2 billion young people across 54 Commonwealth nations around the world, traveling across countries around the world. And I saw how young people have developed capacities, have progressed at younger age. And that's why you can see people like Barack Obama at 44, at 47 years, becoming president. Macron, 32 years, becoming president. A lot of young people become president because the pace of their life development is very fast. You know, they grow faster. But as young people, at the age of 30, you are struggling to finish from university. At the age of 30, you are struggling to get a job, to set a family, to get a house. But in Europe, you see young people at the age of 20, they have a house, they have a job, they have a car. You know, they have already settled, they have already grown so fast. Maybe in Nigeria, you have to reach 40 years before you attain that kind of life. So for us to have young people, younger president, younger this position, we have to increase the speed of life development. How quickly we develop, how access to these development opportunities has to be accelerated. So that young people can mature, can have all this access so that they can prepare. Because if we want to have a president at the age of below the age of 40 or 50. This person must have to undergo certain training processes, experiences before we get there. Obama was revved, went to the Senate, all below the age of 47. So how many people are lucky to have this kind of experience before that age? So we have to change that. And we have one of the most amazing resources, social media and technology. With social media, we can now organize ourselves. We can achieve anything. So be that leader before the position first, so that you can use these resources to attract the leadership. But the last one is compete with yourself alone. Don't compete with other people. Because the only success is when you are better than yourself yesterday, not when you are better than someone else. So I am a better person when I'm better than me yesterday, not when I'm better than you. So before I conclude, let's talk about the last part of my topic, which is election violence or electoral violence. What are the causes and what are the solutions? So we can just look at the causes and then we can get the solution. We just flip the side of the coin and then we see the solution. So now the first cause of election violence or electoral violence is the lack of right values for participation in politics. When I talk about values, you can paraphrase it and say motivation. Why people participate in politics in the first place? Because you engage in violence because you think this is life or death. Like my life depends on this. I must win this election. Why? Why are you taking it so personal? Why are you taking it to heart? A lot of people participate in politics because they think the politics will give them money. Some people have poverty, they want money. The easiest, the fastest way to become rich is to contest an election. So they'll do anything to get that power so that they can get rid of the poverty. But when you're doing politics because it is service, it's not fish law, why will you kill somebody? Why will you be a threat to somebody? Why will you harm somebody? Why will you distort the election results? These are all forms of electoral violence. Even changing the result of the election is electoral violence. A lot of people think electoral violence is when you kill somebody, you harm somebody. But changing the result, conniving, collusion to change the result in whichever position is also electoral violence. So when we change the perspective from service, I want to serve people. You are stopping me? Okay. You are relieving me. Let me go and serve people in different ways. Because being a leader is not the only opportunity for you to serve people. You go and do other people. So the reason why we have electoral violence in Nigeria or in Africa is because there's so much at stake, especially personal gratification. People want to get into position so that they can buy big cars, big house, travel abroad. No. If you want to do that, go into business, get the money, and then travel abroad and buy all these things for yourself. But it's so unfortunate that our political drive is to get those gratification, to acquire wealth. No? So if we want to fix electoral violence, we have to sensitize people. Why do you participate in politics? Is it because of your gratification? Or is it because you want to serve people? If we are doing it for service, nobody will be killed. Nobody will change results. And that's what's happening in UK. Even during election, you walk down the street as if nothing is happening. This is electoral booth, election booth. You walk in and nobody, you just cast your vote and go. They will even post the ballot paper to your house. You cast your vote, you put it in post office, they will deliver it to INEC office, and then they will count it. Because they trust that nobody is going to distort the election. Why will you do that? What will you get? Because it's sad. That's why I see people even resigning from positions. Because, oh, I want to serve you. I can't serve you. Oh, there's somebody that can serve you better. Well, let me resign and this person come. Because win-win. I'm willing to lose as long as you guys are going to win. Which the second circumstance is that is positive. That's number one. Number two is tolerance. Just because I like white party and you like green party doesn't make the two of us enemies. We should be able to tolerate and accept each other's choices. We have the liberty, the constitutional right to associate, to decide which party or which candidate to associate. We are doing rallies, this hall, some people are doing their rallies in another hall. We can greet, shake hands, hug each other. Okay, I understand we have, misunderstanding or disagreement on policy issues. Suddenly we become enemies because of political interest. I've seen so many times young people, friends are becoming foes, becoming enemies just because of politics that will come and go. Don't do that. Because these politicians that will come, get this position, they are more united than you ever imagine. Because they like each other, they love each other, they hug each other. But you guys, they are down here killing each other, fighting against each other. But at the top, the people that are fighting for, they are shaking hands, they're having dinner together. They are marrying each other's children. They are having birthday dinners together. So don't do that. Accept, even if it's your brother, don't force people to change their political interests. If you can sell your candidate, sell your candidate. So do politics with sanity. That will reduce the election violence. But when you are trying to be antagonistic, hostile, and harass people because of political interest, that is going to people get more agitated, and then they will result to violence. The next one is lack of punishment. Because a lot of people, they engage in political violence, electoral violence, and they get away with it. And that's incentive for other people to come and do it again. Right? And these people will repeat it. But if there is capital punishment on the public eye, some people will use that, which will serve as deterrent to other people. They will not do that again. So electoral violence in Nigeria, it was because there was no punishment. Remember, even when we were doing the COVID-19, some people that for not wearing face masks, they are punished immediately because of that, right? So let's see people being punished. Let's have some electoral courts that will punish people for immediate electoral violence. When you commit any electoral violence, we punish you immediately, or we ban you from contesting the election if you are a candidate. No? So these are some of the third one, right? The fourth one is lack of trust on the institutions. Because if people trust that the courts, the security, will be fair and just to them, the INEC are reliable, they will resort to those institutions rather than taking the laws on their hands. So don't take laws into your hands, because there are institutions to report your grievances and complaints. But people, when they lose that, but that's not an excuse. Even if you lose your confidence, it's not an excuse for you to engage in violence. So the solution to that is to strengthen the confidence of people, the integrity of these institutions. And then the last one, which is the fifth one, is social media. Don't use social media to instigate violence, to incite violence among young people. Because we consume so much social media. Because this speech, how many of you in this room, right? But this maybe not after 1,000, but with these films, this thing can go after 1 million views. Social media is the weapon for spreading violence. So we have to have regulations. What we post, we also have to be mindful of what we post on the social media. But all these things come down to us individuals. If we can change ourselves, we cannot be agents for violence. And anything you want to change in your life, you have to change yourself first. If whatever you want to become in the future, it begins today. It begins today. What you do today influences your future. All of you, you are leaders. You aspire to be leaders. And if you truly want to be that great leaders, I will do two things. I will follow you to your homes. When I get to your home, I will go to your library. If you have one. If you have the library, I will go to your library and I will go to what you read. I will look at the book you read. That tells me who you are, what you become. Because what you read, it pours massive ingredients into your mental factory. If what you pour into your brain are cement, you cannot make a bread. Cement cannot make a bread. I'm sure. That's what happens to lectures. They always be reminded it's time. Okay, I'm almost done. So, always what you consume, not only what you read. If I look at your social media, what do you consume the most? Which kind of video do you watch? What platforms do you follow? That determines what you become in your life. So be careful who you follow, because you are an average of the 5 people you spend most of your time with. And these people may not have to be physically spending time with them. This could be people you watch their videos, the books you read, and that's the way we can become better students and better active in politics and in governance. So I challenge you young people to go and change yourself. That's where you can change society. Thank you, and God bless.